What's going on, everybody? Celiac here, and I was watching this channel. It's called the Firearm Firm. They talk about if you don't know about the ATF's pistol brace amnesty period, Well, it looks like sometime in December it could be a real thing. Not really sure. It's still up in the air, but they are allowing an amnesty period. Basically, they're saying you bought your pistol brace lawfully, but now we're gonna take it away and all this stuff. So I'm not gonna keep ranting about this because it doesn't make me happy. I'm sure it doesn't make any of you happy, but this is this channel. They are a law firm. It's Kaye And Phillips. I'll leave the links in the description if you want to contact them. They are not my lawyer. They are not your lawyer, and they are not giving you legal advice. You need to contact your own lawyer to get legal advice about this. They do leave, like I said, links will be in the description. They do leave an email if you want to reach out to them and ask them questions. They're saying if you have questions, ask them, because this can be very, very devastating for anywhere from 20 to 40 million people. You know, one second you're a law-abiding citizen, and next thing you're a felon. So it's very important. But we're going to get into this video and let them explain the possible ins and outs of how to do this. Once again, this isn't legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. If you have questions, links will be in the description. But other than that, without further ado, let's get into this video and try not to get too mad. So don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. Celiac. Deuces.
As many of you are already aware, the ATF and the Biden administration have their sights set on all pistols that utilize a brace stabilizer. It is estimated that between 20 to 40 million people currently own some form of a brace stabilizer. ATF has now come up with a point system to be used in determining whether a stabilizing brace transforms a pistol into an SBR. As you would expect from the ATF, this new point system heavily favors turning just about every AR or AK pistol into an SBR. The final rule change was originally set to be released in August of 2022, but has been postponed and is now set to be released in December of 2022. It appears this postponement was not because ATF is reconsidering their position, but instead was done to get ATF's e-form system prepared for the amount of traffic it expects to receive once the rule goes into effect. So, how is this rule going to affect you? On its face, this rule change would make you, along with the 20 to 40 million law-abiding citizens who possess a stabilizing brace, a felon overnight. In order for you to prevent this from happening, you will now be required to fill out an ATF Form 1, which is an application to make and register a firearm under the NFA. And don't forget, you're going to have to pay the $200 tax stamp. However, just last week, on the 31st of August, ATF released a supporting statement regarding making changes to the ATF Form 1. What is important to owners of a stabilizing brace is that it appears ATF is going to give those individuals affected by the rule change an amnesty period to register their firearms. As posting our video on pistol braces and ATF's amnesty registration a couple of weeks ago, we have had several calls and emails from viewers wanting to know what they should do with their firearms that have stabilizing braces. So, we are going to go over what you can do to keep from having to register those firearms as NFA items and avoid ATF's amnesty period. There are really only two options that can keep you from having to register your firearm with a stabilizing brace as an NFA item, but you probably will only be able to tolerate one of these options. The only option that will allow you to keep utilizing your firearm as a pistol is to remove the stabilizing brace completely from that firearm. How do we know this will work? It's simple. Just read the title of the proposed rule. The proposed rule is titled Factoring Criteria for Firearms with Attached Stabilizing Braces. Not only does the title let us know this option will work, but the proposed rule reads, because short-barreled rifles are among the firearms considered unusual and dangerous, subjecting them to regulation under the NFA, it is especially important that such weapons be properly classified. Indeed, firearms with stabilizing braces have been used in at least 2 mass shootings, with the shooters in both instances reportedly shouldering the brace as a stock, demonstrating the efficacy as short-barreled rifles of firearms equipped with such braces. So, if you want to keep your firearm as a pistol and not have to pay an extra $200 for a tax stamp, just remove the stabilizing brace and this proposed rule will not apply to you anymore. Now, some of you may be wondering if you will get in trouble by keeping the stabilizing brace after you remove it from the firearm. And the answer is no. The proposed rule goes on to read, the GCA and NFA regulate firearms, and with limited exceptions do not regulate individual components. Accordingly, ATF does not classify unregulated components or accessories alone under the GCA and NFA. However, components or accessories when attached to a firearm can affect the classification of a firearm because 1. A component's or an accessory's likely use may be relevant in assessing the manufacturer or maker's purported intent with respect to the design of a firearm, and number 2, the design of a component or an accessory may result in a firearm falling within a particular statutory definition. The proposed rule even gives the example of how if you attached a forward secondary grip to a pistol, it becomes an AOW or any other weapon under the NFA. So just like you can own a pistol and a forward secondary grip, you can own a pistol and a stabilizing brace without being subject to the NFA as long as you do not attach the stabilizing brace to that pistol. Now, I know a lot of you will think this option stinks, and I totally agree with you, but for many it is a better option than having to register your pistol as a NFA item. Another option, which in my opinion defeats the purpose of having an AR pistol, is to change out the upper to one with a 16-inch barrel. For those of you who are not as familiar with the NFA, this will work because a short barrel rifle, commonly referred to as an SBR, is defined in 18 U.S.C. 921A subsection 8 as a rifle having one or more barrels less than 16 inches in length. Therefore, if the barrel is 16 inches or longer, it is not considered a SBR, so under the proposed rule, you can keep the stabilizing brace on it. Of course, if you decide to go with this option, you might as well just change out the stabilizing brace for a regular stock. I know neither of these options are very attractive, but there are no other viable options to keep from having to register your firearm with the stabilizing brace as an NFA item. Let us know if you have any questions by leaving a comment below in the comments section, or if you prefer a more private way, feel free to email your questions to questions@thefirearmfirm.com. Until next time, stay armed and educated.